When asked about horror movies, many people think of mainstream cheesy ghost movies that ultimately end with the heroes defeating a demon by any means necessary. However, more recently, horror movies are going through a renaissance type of rebranding, as we've seen with movies like Get Out or Us, both directed by Jordan Peele. Director and writer Ari Aster falls into this category with his movies, Hereditary being his first feature film that shows how he perfects his craft with little details in a script and techniques that build up the atmosphere of no control that his characters have to endure. Hereditary is about a family going through the process of grief when they first lose their grandmother, and then their youngest member, Charlie. It follows the characters Annie, who's the mother, Peter, who's the older brother, Steve, the father, and Charlie, the daughter, who, well, doesn't really make it to see the end of this movie. In the end, it is revealed that everything in this movie was happening because of a cult led by their grandmother, who is trying to bring back the King of Hell, Payman. Yeah, I know, it's kind of far-fetched. The film starts with a shot of a dollhouse that we zoom into, almost as these characters are quote-unquote dolls being controlled by something else. In fact, that is what Aster says about this scene.
A metaphor is set up there that these people are like dolls in a dollhouse, that they have no agency.
This is paralleled by the ending scene of Peter, who is now possessed by the demon who reigns over hell, surrounded by cult members in a treehouse as it zooms out. Around the beginning of the movie, there's a scene where Peter is in a classroom with his teacher talking about the themes of Hercules, which those themes are escaping fate, the relationship between knowledge and responsibility, and, quote, no man considered fortunate until he is dead, end quote. All these themes are directly shown in the movie as the family tries to escape their fate near the end of the movie, Peter having to deal with the responsibility of killing his sister, and, well, the only way the family can end their suffering is if they end up 6 feet below. Another important detail in the classroom scene is when the teacher is talking about the theme of control in the story of Hercules, as he has no control over his own story, and then asks the class, is it more or less tragic than if he did have a choice? To which a student answers,
I think it's more tragic because if it's all just inevitable, then that means that the characters had no hope. They never had hope because they're all just like hopeless, they're all like pawns in this horrible, hopeless machine.
And this line specifically pertains to the story, as the characters we're seeing on screen don't have any choice in their story. Everything just kind of falls into place for them and they have to play the roles they were given. And while this line may seem very crucial to the plot and to the character who's sitting in the room, he doesn't even notice it's said. He's kind of treating it as a background line, and that's kind of how it's shown in the movie. This is one thing Ari Aster loves to do in his movies. He gives small details to his hyper-attentive viewers, as he calls it, or I guess I should just read the quote from a script. Hyper-attentive viewers might notice a small sigil has been carved into it when he was talking about a small detail in a little telephone pole for a shot that stayed a bit too long on it. In conclusion, Ari Aster has nailed the technique down of getting his ideas across to viewers. He uses tactics that utilize cameras and screenwriting to help rejuvenate the horror genre while also creating a true combination of a director's vision that perfectly gains the presence of no control that he was going for.